The Joe Rogan Experience.
So you guys are dealing with Brexit, right?
Yeah, we've got a.
How's that changed the climate of England?
Well, it's made it very toxic, very kind of like what's happening over here. You know, it's all gone polarized.
Like with the build the wall stuff. And,
yeah, and it's one side or the other, and there's no one in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
In a way, if you look at secession and American Civil War, that was bound to happen at some time. If you go back to the Constitution in 1787, that was supposed to happen. And I think once European Union, no one's ever tried from countries that have hundreds of years of history to choose to try and learn to live together, work together, some shape or form. This tricky thing we're trying to do. It's the hardest thing politically that's ever been done in the history of the world. And I think, because I'm saying the American model with Native American lands and rolling over Manifest Destiny is a different model. It's a different way of things happen.
It's a different time as well.
Yeah,
right?
different time, and Native Americans didn't have this idea of, we mark this off and we've registered this land. So the idea that people learning to work together is tricky. At some point, someone was going to say, I think we'd like to change this, or we'd like to move out. So this fight was bound to happen. And so it's very toxic. I'm not getting too in right at the center of it, because you could just, probably like you have on your news broadcast, you can listen to people talking hours and hours and hours. What do you think about? What do you think about? And it doesn't seem to get anywhere.
Right.
So I've worked out what my worldview is, this view that everyone's got to have a fair chance in life. I know that automation is happening right now, so there's going to be a whole load of people who won't be able to get jobs because the unskilled labor force, their job's going to get automated. That's going to get tricky. So this universal wage is probably going to have to come in. The idea
universal
of
basic income?
Yeah, universal basic income, which everyone's going to have to get, and it's not going to be a negative thing. It's going to be something, okay, then you can go off and you can retrain, or you can live your life. And then there's artificial intelligence parity by 2050, next 30 years. And what does that mean? We can't even work out what that means.
Right.
I think it's going to get harder before it gets easier. And so I'm going to I always do the long game. So, I came out back in 85, and I just thought, well, hopefully it'll get better over time. And now we're up in 2019, and it's definitely better than that was. But it can go backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards. But I'm going to try and shoot for that. And the everyone have a fair chance in life. And as to Brexit, where that goes, positive, negative, I'm against it, so I was just going to fight it. I don't need to think about whether I'm against it. I just know that I want... The younger people are coming online to vote now. They're old enough to vote, and 78% of them want to be part of Europe. And the older people who are passing away, probably 78% of them wanted to be out of Europe and go back.
So it's a fear thing, like a fear of immigration, fear of...
Well, there's a thing. We have to be brave and curious rather than fearful and suspicious. And these are the two ways I think people can go. If we're brave enough, we can be curious and say, hi, how are you? Where are you from? And what do you do? Can we learn from you? Can you learn from us? I think that is the way for humanity to go forward. Or you could be fearful and suspicious. Well, hang on. No, back off. Outside. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to know about you. And that's the fearful and suspicious way. And I think we have to be brave and curious. Otherwise, we're not going to make it.
So for us in America, you're essentially dealing with a bunch of different countries that speak a bunch of different languages, whereas we're dealing with a bunch of different states that speak the same language. But it's
doesn't make any difference. Yeah. It's interesting, because I thought if everyone could get the hang, because English has become a lingua franca for the world. Hasn't made much difference. And as America shows, you can be completely at loggerheads whether you're saying the same words or not. I think if you're not saying the same words, it's easier for people to say, who are these people? We hate them because they can't understand a single word they're saying.
That's easier.
But yeah, it's an easier way to be xenophobic/racist on it. And I've always said a xenophobe is just a racist with a xylophone. Which is my joke, which I got to use somewhere in a political situation. But